Hello lads and lasses, welcome to a World of Tanks Action Heroes review video. And first, sorry it took too long. I actually had to grind in-game and get these tanks. I technically skipped the 25 levels to get the objects at 268 version 5 so I could do this review video just a little bit early as possible. So sorry it took a bit, a week too late. But nonetheless, we are here with a review video on the World of Tanks Action Heroes Update 6.0, and we are reviewing the Object 268 version 5. This is the premium tier 10 tank destroyer. Yes, it is a tank destroyer, not a heavy, not a medium. However, it doesn't feel like a tank destroyer. I definitely have been playing this thing a little bit more like of a snipey medium and a support heavy, and it's been working out really well for me. So without further ado, we're actually going to go into the video. We're going to break down the stats of this vehicle, and we're going to be comparing it to the T110E4, probably one of the more potent favorite tier 10 tank destroyers in the game. And just as a comparison, we'll also be putting up the stats of the 60TP Polish tier 10 heavy, just to give you guys some insight onto this vehicle. And here is the stats for the 268 version 5 tier 10 Soviet tank destroyer. Keep wanting to say heavy, but it's not a heavy. Now, 3.19 rounds per minute, which is pretty decent, with 850 alpha on standard ammunition, 850 on premium, and 1100 on high explosive. Penetration is 303 on standard ammunition, 395 on premium, and 90 on high explosive. That is insanely high, and it's better than the E4, the T110E4 American tier 10 tank destroyer, which we'll show you that later. Its reload is 18.8 seconds with a aim time of 3 seconds. These are all base stats, remember, which obviously with the new crews and equipment we can put on our tanks, we can get that down quite a bit. Ammo capacity is 30 rounds, accuracy is 0.36, depression is 5 degrees, and elevation is 15 degrees. Onto its turret armor, it's 230mm at the front, which is pretty good, 98 sides and 68 at the rear, so when you're engaging, keep your turret pointed at the person that's going to be shooting you next, essentially. Because if you give any angle on your turret, they will pen. Turret traverse speed is 18 degrees a second, which is quite sluggish, but not nearly as horrible as the view range at 360 meters, which is tragic. Onto the engine, it's 750 horsepower per ton, horsepower, and the power to weight ratio is 15 horsepower per ton. Top speed is 48, which is nothing to mock at. It's really, really good. And top reverse speed is 15. So if you overcommit, you will not be reversing out of that engagement anytime soon. Fire chance is 15%. Onto the traverse speed of the hull is 28 degrees a second, which isn't that bad. Terrain resistance is 1 on soft, 1.1 on medium, and 1.9 on hard. And the signal range is 720. And just for comparison, here is the E4 stats. There we go. So it has better rate of fire than E4, has the same damage as the E4, has better penetration than the E4, except for high explosive, has a better reload than the E4, has worse aim time than E4 by 0.1, has 3 rounds more than the E4, has better accuracy by 0.1, so where the V5 loses in aim time, it makes up for accuracy, which is fair enough. It has less. The V4 has less degrees of gun depression by 1, but it has better elevation. Onto its turret armor, it has overall better turret armor at the front, and it doesn't have that massive weak spot on top that the E4 suffers from. However, the sides and rear is better on the E4. Traverse speed of the turret is the exact same, and view range is a hell of a lot better on the E4. Onto the engine. E4 wins in horsepower, however the power to weight ratio on the V5 along with its top speed just surpasses the E4 in almost every way, especially in fire chance, because you're going to get set on fire less often. When it comes to hull rotation, the V5 also wins. However, it's got better terrain resistance as well than the E4. So it definitely feels a hell of a lot more maneuverable and a lot better in that regards. And here is a 60 TP just to compare, because I do feel like the V4 plays a lot like a medium heavy rather than a tank destroyer. So here's a heavy tank to compare. So this is going to be the part of the video where it's a bit different, because before it would be introduction, statistics, comparison, opinion, where now is introduction, straight into comparison and statistics, and then it's going to be loadout and armor viewer and modules, and then it will be opinion. So without further ado, here is the modules of said vehicle. So this is with my loadout, but we'll go straight to the armor viewer. As I was talking about before, this is the front of the vehicle. When looking at it, it's got quite a juicy upper plate. Its hull armor is pretty weak because it is on the chassis of the T10 heavy tank at tier 9 that leads on to the 277. However, that 230, that turret is quite a nice angle, and it's definitely going to be a little bit harder to penetrate when it's facing you and you're hull down. However, you must be mindful of this top bar, as that is going to be a penetration spot. But it's not nearly as big as the E4. Onto the module viewer, if you're looking where this tank's laid out, engine is at the rear, gun is, well, in the turret. Radio is on the right side on the turret. Ammunition is all the way around the back and at either side, the same as the T10, however, more ammunition stored in the turret. And this is the cruise position with driver in the hull, radio, gunner, commander, and loader all in the turret. So for those FE215Bs, 183s, hash into the turret to kill the crew. Now, on to loadout. Now this is what I run, and this is what I've been using. I'll show you the equipment that I run, then I'll show you the consumables, ammo loadout, and then we will pop over to my commander. So without further ado, I run loading time, aiming speed, crew performance, enhanced target info, consumables. It's all premium because I like reusable consumables. They're a great addition. So it's enhanced repair kit, enhanced med kit, and enhanced rations. And then ammunition is 15 standard AP, 10 APCR, and then 5 high explosive. Onto the commander. I use my heavy tank crew. This is my IS-7 crew. Comes with 6 Sense, Born Leader, Steady Aim, Clutch Braking, Rapid Aim, Rapid Loading, Snapshot, Off-Road Driving, and Armor Angling to reduce incoming damage. Alright lads and lasses, this is going to be an opinion part, and after this we'll show you some gameplay of this vehicle. Now, my opinion on this vehicle is it's a monster. It's ridiculously fun to play. It looks awesome. Its skin for this season looks awesome on the vehicle with the barbed wire, the Statue of Liberty. Although it is a Russian tank, it does look really cool with the snakes on the mud skirts or mud flaps at the rear. I'm in love with this tank. I've played it quite a bit, and it definitely doesn't feel like a tank destroyer. It does feel like more of a really big gunned medium tank to a really big gunned heavy tank that has weak armor. Because it's situated on the T10 chassis, at tier 9, it does feel very squishy. I have caught myself cussing because it feels like butter when playing this thing. It definitely is squishy. So if you are going to be playing this vehicle aggressive, you need to use that turret. You need to be very cautious. You can't take very many hits. It's more of a support role. It can't take hits, it can't brawl on its own because of that really weak hull. However, that turret armor does allow it for hull down positions to be really effective. Another thing I found is I'm not using any concealment perks on this vehicle, and I found its concealment to be pretty decent, 326.5 meters for concealment. That's really good, and you'll see it in my video that we're going to show after this. I was able to sit there and snipe, and it feels so accurate. It feels really nice, and there's only two downsides to this vehicle. There's only two major flaws in this vehicle, and its turret rotation is really, really sluggish compared to its hull rotation and terrain resistance. So its hull feels really fast as the turret feels like it's damaged, which may make you miss a few snapshots if you're firing on the move and wiggling. Another thing is the hull armor. The hull armor is, well, butter. You can cut it with a hot knife. But besides that, if you take those two things, which aren't really bad things, it's more of a playstyle flaw, because I'm quite aggressive. If you sit back and snipe with this vehicle, or if you're sticking with a few platoon mates and they're in E100s or something that can take quite a beating, this tank is an amazing support vehicle, and it does exceptionally well. So my thoughts and opinions on this vehicle is the battle pass is worth it just for this vehicle alone. I am in love with this vehicle. It is quite awesome to play. It looks awesome. And if you guys, if you lads and lasses don't like the skin, go over to appearance and don't put the skin on. There. That's it without the skin. So that's going to be it for basically this review video. If you do like this new format and feedback, give me feedback, please. It would be awesome. But without further ado, we're going to show the gameplay of this vehicle. I did, 5,200 damage. It was more of a steamroll-ish, but I just want to showcase kind of this tank and how it performs. It feels really, really good. It's definitely a hell of a lot more accurate than some of the other Russian tanks. It's quite a nice change. So without further ado, let's show you this gameplay. Take care and keep it renegade. Bye-bye.